Hello, so here is my community service, Jing. To tell a little bit about what I did, I volunteered at the Covina Valley Unified School District Educational Services Department building, and they basically get everything ready for educationally for the classrooms. For example, they write all the newsletters, they do the the annual pacing guide binders for each grade level. Each teacher gets one. So they do a lot, but that's just to name a few. But so I volunteered there. On my first day, I was introduced to everyone. I was showed my desk. Here's a picture of my desk. They first had me, they showed me what they were doing with the binders, and I thought it was very funny that I had never heard of one, and then in social studies we were introduced to it, and so that was my first time seeing it, and then we had to create one, and that was probably one of my most difficult things to make, but after I did it, I was very proud of myself, and then 2 weeks later, I believe, after we finished that is when I started my community service. So when they showed me the book, I thought that was really crazy that I had just created one in my class and I had never heard of it. So I actually got to look through one of the sample ones that they already had made, and I kind of got to look through it, which was fun. But so they told me how to put I had to make copies of all of the pages that were in, because they did one for each grade already, but I had to make one for each teacher. So I had to make copies of each section and organize them into separate binders so that each teacher could have one for each grade level for each school in the district. So there were a lot of them. I did get help on here's a picture of the 3rd grade one. And here's the 5th grade one. And then, this is the table of contents that we had to create. On my 3rd day, I think it was, I was still working on the binders, and luckily there was another guy that came in and was volunteering also. He was a huge help. We ended up getting them done, and that day we got a lot done, and then he was there on my 4th day too, and so we finished them that day, and then that was a huge accomplishment. They were very excited to have them done, and that they had so much other stuff to do, so they loved that we were able to help get those done and get those out of the way while they were finishing up other things. And then on the last day Josh wasn't there on the last day. I was there by myself, but I just did miscellaneous filing and copying for one of the ladies and just doing basic office work. But all of them told me what a great help I was, and so that was nice to hear. I love volunteering, so it was a great experience. I haven't volunteered anywhere in a very long time. But it was a great experience. I'm really glad we had to do this, and I would go back and volunteer there any day. So, and on the last day, they all took me to lunch, or the main director, Elizabeth, took me to lunch, and a couple of the girls came with us. So that was nice. So it was a fun group of girls, and I learned a lot. And I still think it was crazy that I ended up having to put together the annual pacing guide binders that each teacher uses for each grade level, and I had just done one. So, but yeah, it was a great experience, and that's all. Thank you.